Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerry Bees, and it has been far too long since I've done a reaction to Eurovision. Any reaction to any Eurovision song. But it is about time that I get back into it because this year's competition, 2025, is set to conclude here pretty soon. We are recording this on May the 7th, or the 7th of May, however you write your dates. It doesn't matter. And the competition is set to conclude starting next week, the 13th through the 17th. So I really needed to get this done. I know I had said before that we would do some reactions to some past winners of years past, or some more notable ones from years past, maybe some semifinalists or something like that. But given that this year's contest is set to conclude here very soon, I think it is due time to look at what we have in store for this year's contestants. And even though largely this is reaction, right? I don't know hardly any of these artists. There is one that we're going to react to first, which I am quite excited for because to me it's a familiar name. And I hope that you're as excited to watch me watch it for the first time as I am. Oh, okay. That's the level of peace thing. Hello, YouTube. Yes. Hello, YouTube. Another huge thank you to everybody who's watched my 2 past Eurovision reactions. I do really appreciate it. The amount of support and just general views, I guess, I've gotten off of those videos has really meant a lot to me. We've had some things going around in the background, some other projects I've been trying to attend to. I have not forgotten about all of you lovely people, so I hope that this is worth the wait for you all. And this is not the end of our Eurovision journey in the slightest, even though it's just for this year's competition. Like I said, we'll get into some past winners sometime soon here, probably next month in June. And I am still pretty curious about the much older Eurovision stuff. So I know ABBA got their start in Eurovision. I don't know if they got their start per se, but I know that they were involved with it, right? So maybe looking more at the history of Eurovision, if that would be interesting for you, please do let me know down in the comments below, as well as any other thoughts that you have on my thoughts as we go through and watch all of these contestants for this year. If you would like to catch us live while we are, well, I don't know why I'm saying we. If you would like to catch me live as I'm reacting to Eurovision, maybe an album reaction, or really anything else that I'm doing, make sure you click one of the links down in the description and pay attention to either my post tab here on YouTube or for free on Patreon, where I post when I'm going live and what I'm going to be reacting to. And if you want to catch any of these reactions before they go out on YouTube, make sure you check out my Patreon as well. All right, so I'm very excited for this one. When we did our paid reaction streams, and we do those sometimes. If we do those will be on Thursdays, so make sure you look out for those. Somebody who kind of started the Eurovision stuff for me here on this channel, because they had requested a lot of Eurovision stuff, a lot of prior music videos though, not so much the performances, sent in Tommy Cash's Wracked, which I was infatuated by. Tommy Cash, of course, of Estonia. And this is this year's entry from Tommy Cash, and it's looking like he's a finalist for this year's competition. I've not heard this song yet, and I really do like Tommy Cash. I like what he brings to the table. I've heard Wracked and Traffic. I believe that was with Joost Klein. Pretty sure. Klein? Also, excuse my mispronunciations as we continue, but nonetheless, we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this. This is Tommy Cash, Espresso Macchiato.
Espresso macchiato corneo. Mi amore, espresso macchiato, Ristorante, like Nicky Lemons, went down to whoop the day. Mi amore, espresso macchiato, por favore. Espresso macchiato.
Absolutely awesome. You know, I think one of the things I really appreciate about Eurovision, and from what I've seen so far, and please do let me know if I'm wrong, but it seems like it doesn't matter what country you're from, whether it's Estonia or Portugal or Finland or whatever country participates in this competition, that there are those acts. Freaking Joost Klein with Europapa, for crying out loud, where it's just showing an appreciation for the whole region, the whole continent, as it were, without borders. And it's just a love for these collective similarities that they have. And so, you know, he's doing this motif on, you know, like the Italian stuff, right? You know, this, like, you know, this whole hand shape here is like pretty stereotypically Italian, and, you know, espresso macchiato, all that kind of a thing. So he needs the espresso macchiato because he's a busy boy. Now, I think Sabrina Carpenter, who had a hell of a year last year in 2024, especially with her single Espresso leading the way, I think Tommy Cash gonna give her a run for her money. That's me, espresso macchiato. Especially just because of these dance moves that he's hitting up right here. I am like mesmerized by the way that he is moving his little body here. I mean, just check that out. I mean, that's just so. I don't know what it is. I know exactly what it is. He's going crazy. And I've caught this from Tommy Cash's other stuff. You know, he's got this phenomenal sense of humor that I can really get down with. And I like the idea of these, like, you know, stoic bodyguards also having a bunch of fun with him as they're all dancing. Riding the motorcycle. Riding the security guard motorcycle is ridiculous. And he's shooting a look too. He's shooting a look at it too. Speaking of the security guards, though, I gotta give this dude over here props. I don't know if those like are additional costumes, because now looking at it, the one on the left, stage left, has big shoulders as well. But like the shoulders on these dudes are massive. I don't know if that's a costume thing to make him look like more exaggerated, bigger or something. But I was mesmerized by not only the song and the performance of it all, but also the shoulders on these guys. Well, and, you know, even though, like, I understand, like, you know, Tommy Cash has this firm sense of humor, and he has a particular sense of humor. I mean, my God, look how long his tie is right here. So it is a parody in a sense, but it's a little bit, actually, I would argue that it's very much different from the style that he brought in Traffic and in Racked, where, you know, Racked is just, the lyrics of that are just nuts, and Traffic is just kind of very high energy and crazy. Whereas this one, it feels, it is a little bit more parody, but it's a little bit more geared towards the audience. And a great artist, really any great creator of any sense, knows their audience. And they should have a phenomenal grasp of their audience. And I think Tommy Cash does right here. Because who doesn't love coffee, for God's sakes? Love me some coffee. Just sip on it for, you know, however long. Although tea is quite good. Tea is very good. Here, at least just judging by the thumbnail, we might have more of a straightforward one, maybe a more traditional song. I don't know. I think one of the great things about Eurovision is that it always keeps me on my toes. If we look back to last video where we listened to Party for Everyone with the babushkas, and they're making bread in an oven on the middle of the stage, and it and the beat starts, and it's just crazy. I don't know, but this is France's. This is the French entry for this year. This is Luan with My Man. So let's tuck into this.
Y a plus d'amant, y a plus de lit. Finalement, tu vois, j'ai construit ma vie. Et le vide écran, les questions aussi. Toi, tu vas comment? Est-ce que tu vois tout ici? Et j'ai bien changé. J'ai trouvé l'amour indélébile. Tu sais, le vrai toujours. Quand toi tu me tenais la main. Je vais mieux, je sais où je vais. J'ai arrêté de compter les années. Et si j'ai Je vais mieux, je sais où je vais. J'ai arrêté de compter les années. Maman, maman, si j'ai voulu arrêter le temps, maintenant c'est moi
Come
qui
on.
le fais. Maman.
Ah!
Merci beaucoup, thank you so much.
What the hell? That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Hearts in the chat, everybody. Come on now. Hearts in the chat. Yeah, man, this is really quite good. First of all, performance-wise, before we even get into what the song is about, oh my God. So, I love me a drum line. I love me some marching band music. I always have. There's something about a quad drum that I just, ooh, it's tasty. You get a good quad drummer on there, and I'm loving it. And so, obviously, this is a little bit different here. I did ask the chat if this was okay, you know, if there was a better performance, but they said this one was good. And this one was great, actually. The composure that you need to sing, and I know that some Eurovision, like at least the instrumentals are kind of piped in. I don't know about the vocals. It seemed, obviously, it's either she's great at lip syncing or her composure on that elevated podium, suspended podium, actually, from that suspended podium as there's pyro coming from beneath her and behind her. It looks like she's comfortable as hell being up there. And I don't know, it just, man, it just impressive down the line. And the song, like, I was kind of tearing up. So tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like, you know, there's this, you know, yearning to be with one's mother again. You know, it's been years. They've stopped counting the years, but now I'm the one that he calls mom. She's relating this sense of loss to this sense that they found this indelible love, as they put it, now that they've become a parent. And, the last line.
Maman.
So I can only imagine that is their child saying, you know, maman? I said, my man. I don't think that was correct at all. So no, this one was, it's a real class act. I think, you know, I think you can look past all the pomp and circumstance with all of the pyro and, you know, the pageantry of it all, and really see that they kind of class it up for this one. A real heart tugger, if I had to say so myself. And I do say so myself. My man. So next up on the docket, we have Lucio Corsi from Italy. I was told that they are quite the character in the comments of the YouTube post that I had made when asking which one of the finalists I should be reacting to this year. And they said that they were a character. And I looked at the thumbnail and it's like, yep, I think we're going to get another character, so to speak. So what kind of character? I don't know, but we're going to find out tonight. This is the first automatic finalist. You'll see. Wait, no, it's the second. Okay, well, we'll see. It seems a lot of people in the chat are really excited about this one. So let's just dive right in.
Volevo essere un duro che non gli importa del futuro, un robot, un lottatore di sumo, uno spaccino in fuga da un cane lupo. Me lo diceva mamma ed io cadevo giù dagli alberi, cazza ladra che ti ruba la fede. Però non sono nessuno, non sono altro che luce.
Wow. So, I mean, first things first here, I really got to say something about just, I guess, the overall stage presence here from Lucio. I mean, you know, the outfit's one thing, but to get up, just so confidently go from the piano to the mic and then to get back onto, you know, the steps down below there, you know, it might seem easy just looking at it, but, you know, I've only done a modicum of live performance, and most of that was back in middle school and high school in front of, you know, 10 or 15 people. And here, You know, it's a whole auditorium. It's a whole music hall full of people. With the outfit, I like this whole glam rock thing they're going for, and they just nailed it on the head with that little guitar solo, the symphony in the background. You know, I'm getting like, at first I was like, okay, just Todd Rundgren-y, but then as the guitars started coming in, I was like, okay, this is more so like a David Bowie, you know, Starman kind of a deal, Ziggy Stardust kind of stuff. Fun fact, Sanremo, the festival which Italy now used to choose their Eurovision entry, is actually older than Eurovision and even inspired the contest all the way back in the 50s. No, thank you. That's actually phenomenal context. So thank you. Yeah, no, this was great. And then speaking on the costume as well, from one of the first shots, he's got Andy written on there. So, you know, obviously that is a callback to the movie Toy Story, those movies. I haven't seen the fourth one. They ended the story with the third. I don't know why I had to watch it after that. You could say like, oh, well, it's a new story, but then call it like, I don't know, Toy Story: The Next Generation or something like that, because the story ended with the third movie. Okay, it ended. It's good. It's done. You finished it. I still think Toy Story 2 is one of the greatest sequels ever made. That's just me. So Toy Story 3 was okay. Toy Story 3 was okay. I liked it. Wrapped up the story quite well, but nonetheless. So I don't know if you know, they have this character where they are a toy, or if that was just for this performance, because they rock the boots, right? Where's the one shot? You know, they're rocking the boots here. Also, that guitar is sick. That is a great guitar. Just the underside of the body is just basically just cut, so all you have is basically enough space for the pickups. I don't know. There was a lot in this performance that I really, really liked. The voice, the stage presence, the costume, the persona. I think so. I can definitely see why people wanted me to react to this one. This one was, and I don't know if I've heard a glam rock kind of act from Eurovision yet. You know, I've always said in a lot of these, well, I guess we've only made the 2 Eurovision videos so far, but in one of those videos, I did say that, you know, Europe just has this grasp of electronic music, and I think that they're really the harbingers of it, so to speak. And so I expect to see a lot of that. And then obviously, you know, some of those ballads we listened to. The name of the artist escaped me, but, you know, the one artist from Turkey, or even Luan, you know, the last song that we reacted to, you know, things that kind of just class it all up and really just show the pure unbridled vocal talent of a lot of these people. But I like it when it's persona and it's atmosphere, it's costume, and just overall performance here. Keeping this Eurovision train a-rolling, we got Napa from Portugal with Deslocado. Deslocado means displaced. Okay, I can see that. Locado maybe being the root for location there. Dislocated, displaced. I can see that. I know a little bit. There are some cogs turning up here, despite what some may believe. So I don't know too much about this one at all. So that is apt reasoning for us to react to this right now.
Não cabia saudade acumulada do azul, vejo o jardim, mesmo por trás da asa, que eu tô a chegar a casa. Mas que possa parecer, eu nunca vou pertencer àquela cidade. Mar de gente, sol diferente, monte de betão. Não me provoca nada, não me convoca a casa. Porque eu, madeira, se eu te explicar palavra a palavra, nunca vais entender a dor que me cala, a solidão que acaba. Mas que possa parecer, eu nunca vou pertencer àquela cidade. Mar de gente, sol diferente, monte de betão. Não me provoca nada. Mar de gente, sol diferente, monte de betão. Não me provoca nada, não me convoca casa.
Damn. I was expecting an eruption of applause from that. Am I the only one that's going to give that an eruption of applause? I can't even speak right now. I liked that so much. You know, I'm getting like this, the only thing that's coming to my head with this is, as far as anything to compare it, now maybe I should just be looking at it for what it is, but I can't help but to think of like just a lot of George Harrison influence on this in the best ways possible. You know, especially like the melody in what I'm guessing is the chorus here. I can only guess that maybe, and again, tell me if I'm wrong, does this song utilize, you know, some maybe traditional songs or maybe some stylings of, you know, music that's native to Portugal with a little bit of indie pop influence as well. I love when I see like a full band, you know. I think we did, I forgot what they were called, but with Rock and Roll Hallelujah. Was that Lordy, Rock and Roll Hallelujah? I believe that was Finland. Please do tell me if I'm wrong on that. So like that was a full band, right? But that's a character band. And not to say that I'm demeaning it in that sense, because that definitely plays its own role there. But it just a straightforward kind of rock-based band here. I really liked it. It's not something that I think I've seen a ton in my Eurovision reactions so far. So in that regard, this was a breath of fresh air. You know, just all these young, handsome dudes acting like they're playing instruments live. This song is about having to be away from home. All the band members are from the island of Madeira in the Atlantic Ocean. Most people from our islands have to go to the continent either for education or jobs. It's been a hit with university students. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. And actually, with you saying that, another thing I was going to add, like just with the way that the song starts, it feels like this would be really popular with, like, you know, young adults of a certain age that are, you know, maybe into more lo-fi, indie pop kind of stuff here in the States. I honestly do think that, you know, because, you know, Americans are stupid, right? If you're bilingual, you have to be like either just a really good student or like the child of immigrants. That's most commonly how you speak multiple languages here in the States. And I think otherwise, you know, if these were like, these lyrics were in English, this would be a hit, you know, in a certain respect. But it definitely doesn't have to be in English. I am liking it even without it being in English. I'm just saying if they wanted to get big in the States, I think that's the only thing holding it back, because otherwise I really enjoyed this. Apparently they're really inspired by the Arctic Monkeys, Beatles, and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay, yeah, so like I said, it was George Harrison based. Arctic Monkeys, that's maybe where they're kind of pulling maybe that indie sound from. I really like this a lot. Yeah, I don't know how much this one stacks up against maybe some of the rest of the performances that we've seen and maybe some of the other characters and personas that are taking place this year, but I liked this one quite a bit. So this is Justina, and I'm going to try to pronounce this. Stakowska? Justina Stakowska? Please do let me know if that is wrong. But this is Gaia. Someone help me. It's the Tchaikovska. This is Justina with Gaia, right? Polish names are impossible. No, they're not impossible. I just need to get better. This is a skill issue. This is my Polish skill issue, right? I'm the problem. But anyway, people are pretty excited about this one. I'm excited to listen to it. Let's dive in.
Ranisz moje serce ty, który moją miłość masz za nicności krzyk. Mojego jestem Bogiem, siłą moją, matką miłość, kiedy płaginiony the
Of course, they had to suspend her. Wow. All right, so kind of a lot to talk about with this one. Not sure where to start. I guess we could start with somebody here in the chat. Let me know that Justyna represented Poland in 1995 as well. So this is not Justyna's first go-around with Eurovision. And if you didn't know that before, you probably wouldn't have guessed it. Apparently she is 52, and she looks fantastic for her age. Sis has not fallen off. Now, you might think that when she gets suspended, like, sis might fall off. Sis did not fall off. Some of the kids might say, total diva, right? Just bringing the heat in more than one ways here. And actually quite literally with some of the animations there going on the board. Was there any like pyro in here? I don't know if I saw any pyro. Yeah. We got pyro. We got pyro in this one. You know, this like primal Matrix aesthetic that we got going on here with all the leather and the face paint. Almost like apocalyptic here. Now, is this, I see, you know, on the video board, there is a globe of sorts, you know, a planet. Gaia in the sense of like Gaia as far as being the god of the earth, the goddess, so to speak, you know, Mother Nature itself. But it almost like in an apocalyptic tone, it just like the aggressive beats and it in the atmosphere just kind of lended it to being kind of apocalyptic in that regard. And of course, just like very aggressive dancing as well. Did not expect Justyna to pick up the violin. Everybody's going crazy at this part, and I'm like, why? Wait. And then I see it. You know, she's going nuts on the violin there. And also, you gotta give credit to this like pirate guy over here with the bandana and everything. I really appreciate all that. Ironic that the year directly after the Polish broadcaster apologized for pushing anti-LGBT rhetoric, they send a song that is made to secure the gays' votes. Where is this one part? Because I am obsessed with this one dance move. Is it this? So wait, so it's like it's. That's fantastic. I love that. That's so good. Did I just want to spin around there? Yes, but I wanted to be like Justyna. That's that's how much I'm getting out of this one. And I guess this one rings a little bit more true to some of the Eurovision that we have seen so far in terms of it. You know, it's electronic, it's pop, it's heavily choreographed. That kind of. I mean, you can't walk away from watching this live and go like, wow. Like that would be impossible. Yeah, Poland really bringing the heat. I'd be shocked to see what she did in 1995 after this. If this is, I mean, wow, 30 years after. So first time she was in the competition, she was 22. Assuming that she was 52 when this happened. Hey, age is just a number though, and I think that she proved it here. We're getting in a little bit of a trend of our performers being suspended in the air here. Which and this was just a flex. She's just showing her upper body strength. I think she came last in 1995. Well, if she came last in 1995, I don't think she'll come last this year. I don't know. I don't know. I am not a judge. What do you think? Where do you think Justyna should be placed this year? All right. So this one was heavily requested, and a lot of people here in the chat as they're coming in have asked me whether or not he's listened to Sweden yet. I have not, and now I am. Now, this is fun, they say. This is Kai. I'm assuming that the J there is silent with Barabada Batsu. Barabarabatsu. That's really fun to say. Barabarabatsui. Batsu means sauna in Swedish, so Barabara sauna. These are the favorites to win, apparently. So a lot of people are very excited to see me react to this, as I guess these guys are in the lead as far as common consensus is concerned. So let's just get into it.
Din vårvärme lika bra som tango med Arja Saijonmaa.
1, 2, 3 saunaa.
Vi ska vara bastu, hångorna på, släpp all stress idag. Bastubröder är vi som glöder 100 grader noja. Bara bastu, hej. Vi ska vara bastu, hångorna på, släpp all stress idag. Bastubröder är vi som glöder 100 grader noja.
90 grader, vi är nästan där. Perkele, Eva på värman jär. Sveitin lakkar, ja.
1, 2, 3 saunaa.
Vi ska vara bastu, hångorna på, släpp all stress idag. Bastubröder är vi som glöder 100 grader noja. Bara bastu, bara bastu, bara bastu, bara bastu, bara bastu. Vi ska vara bastu, hångorna på,
Keychain! Okay, so obviously here, I feel that I have kind of gathered why some people love this one so much and why they think that this is like maybe a favorite to win. It has a lot of those Eurovision tropes that I've been picking up on, right? Just like insane production value, and maybe the stage set itself here is actually quite elaborate, and probably the most elaborate that I've seen thus far in any of the performances that I've reacted to here on the channel. You know, it starts off with this like lumberjack scene, and I'm assuming because this is in their native language, and apparently here, this is the first Swedish entry since 1998 to be sung in the native language of Swedish, right? So I can only gather so much, through the choreography, through the set here. People love their saunas. Apparently, get your sauna on. Get your sauna on. But as far as some of the tropes that we've seen so far, so maybe an elaborate performance within the set, within the production value, but also just like the very lighthearted tone with it all. I don't know how popular saunas are, but I can only gather from what we've seen from Eurovision so far as it being a way to maybe celebrate things that are inherently European or maybe shared across regions of Europe, whether it be a espresso macchiato or whether it be all the things that we hear about in Europapa. Here it's the sauna. It is this idea. It's this recreational health activity of the sauna here, which is like so far out of left field, but very much in the ballpark of Eurovision. But I can't help but enjoy this through one lens. And that is the Lumberjack song by Monty Python.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
The duo's name is Zjerm. The song is called Shaktra Electronic. Okay, all right, close enough. Let's get into Albania.
Në përgas në ambulancë Kërkur sepe arrogancë Dhe se të në thanë që s'prishet kohë Përfundove në nuj kur s'mo tha dorë Imagjit pastër Në notën time Të tërgoj dritën Aman mizere Aman mizere Në zemrën time Zemrën tëme Këm minut do të vazhdoj Njerës të mire Njerës pajmer Këtë si pave në shpirë Janë
Valet ona tribale që u shtojnë sarte po kur bjen male zjerë Njerës po emen e njerës të t'lirë Njësoj këputën e binë si shtatë Frika që t'mullën shpirë Zjerë Këtu flendeti rana e hana E lyri si shofë
Në notën ty me të dërgoj dritë Aman mizerere, aman mizere Ha, në zemrën time, zemrën tëme Kën minuto të vazhdoj Njërës të mire, njërës bojme Shmejt, 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 shmejt
You know, between Poland and Albania this year, you know, we get these like more epic kind of sounding, like darker songs that I'm really all about. Something about you brunette ladies over in Europe. You doing okay? You doing good? Are you fine? Okay. Just checking. I mean, but obviously you're putting it through some really quite jarring performances here, especially you know, once the guy here just starts doing the spoken word part, just in that low timbre, just staring straight at the camera, just like, oh my God, like it pulls you in. And I think that's one of the great things about watching this, not only as an American, but I think just watching Eurovision in and of itself. And, you know, you don't really have to understand every word. Sure, it would behoove you to do so, you know, to learn every single language that's ever been invented ever. So you never go without misunderstanding anything. But I think that's what makes music, you know, kind of like the great equalizer of sorts, where just between the sound of it, the attitude, the atmosphere can really kind of pull you in. Yeah, and another thing I like, I don't know a lot about this duo. Actually, this is the only thing I know about this duo. I don't know if, you know, his role is mainly just to, you know, do maybe more the spoken word aspects of this, but just watching him command that electronic pad set right there and just hitting it and just that low sound that comes out of it was just kind of cool to see. You know, she's doing all the dancing, she's doing the rhythmic head nods. Maybe we get a little maybe we get a little Grease action.
Greece. Pack my makeup with me to go to Greece. Pack with me to go to Greece. Get ready with me to go to Greece. Travel with me to Santorini, Greece.
That is objectively the best and worst video I think I've ever seen on the internet. Well, let's check out Greece's entry for this year. I know the music video is quite popular, but we will be checking out the live performance just so we can kind of judge this along with the other ones, right?
Γλυκιά μου μάνα μη μου κλαις Μαύρα κι αν σου φορούνε Το ξέρω μάτα μου μικρή Γύρε μου να σε πιάσω Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ.
All right, so that was Greece's entry for this year, and we did have some comments in the chat saying like, "Oh, watch the video, you know, watch the music video, not the performance." I believe a word that was used was the performance is a little static, and I do agree with that in the sense, you know, she, as far as like maybe some of the stage presence that we've seen from Italy's entry for this year, where I found that it was just exceptional, or you know, Poland's, really Poland's was just crazy. You know, she is just kind of, you know, standing there, and we have some slower movement with the dancers surrounding. But, you know, I think that's kind of more or less the point of it as well. It is like maybe a slower, more methodical song in that regard. And I kind of appreciate that just in the sense where it's like, just listen to the voice here. And her voice is absolutely stunning. I don't think anybody can knock her points off for that. But I mean, I don't know if this was the song that, you know, this is the national final performance, not necessarily the final performance here. But, in that regard, with it being a little bit more static, with some tough competition as far as how some of these other performances are going, I don't know. I don't know what the judges are looking for. I don't know what the typical Eurovision fan is looking for there, but it does. I kind of liked this approach of making it a little bit slower to just make the focal point on the singer themselves here. It's up against some stiff competition. If this was like the final performance that we are going to be judging here, as opposed to everything else that we've seen tonight. But but her voice is exceptional. I really did like movements of the song, where it peaked, where those valleys go, where it drops us back down. It's a lot like with how I thought France's performance really kind of bolstered the classiness of it and brought some of that back in the form of a ballad. But she's suspended 30 feet up in the air, and there's pyro going off underneath her, and she's got a whole drum line going on there. And against this, it's a great way to class it up. But if I'm looking at the performance at the end of the day, I think there's a lot to be desired in that aspect. I don't know, but who knows, right? Maybe there were some logistical issues, and they were like, we can get you, like some like trapeze ribbons and like 5 dancers. That's what we can give you, because like the rest of it is like, on a freeway in Sweden, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. American prefers spectacle to talent. Did I not just get done saying for 2 minutes how I appreciated that the singer's at the focal point here? National finals tend to be scaled back compared to the actual show. Well, so then there you go. There you go. Yeah, no, her vocals alone sufficed for me, I think.
With me on a boat in Santorini, Greece.
So as I've been told, the Australians don't have an official live version, so this was from the pre-party, so maybe this isn't the best way to include Australia in this, but last time I checked, and hold on, let me do some research here. Australia is not in Europe. Australia is not in Europe, as per my search findings here on the interwebs, but nevertheless, they've been invited to the Eurovision party. At least this London Eurovision party for 2025. If you squint your eyes, it makes sense that Australia is in Eurovision. I am not coping that America is not in Eurovision. Please keep America away from Eurovision. Okay, so there are some other countries that aren't in Europe either that are included in the Eurovision party, Israel being one of them. Morocco is in Africa, and they took part once in 1980. Well, so there you go. Nonetheless, this is Gojo with Milkshake Man.
You sip from my special cup. I heard that you could use a little pick-me-up. What can get you high when you're oh so sad? It's the milk from the Milkshake Man. Call across the land, I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man. I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man. I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man. Away, you can call me the Milkshake Man. I want to shake and make the whole world. They drink my name all across the land. I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man. I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man. I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man.
All right, so I think we got a running theme for 2025 where these solo dude acts, solo white boys acts are just about drinks. So we had Tommy Cash with Espresso Macchiato. Now we have Gojo with Milkshake Man, right? And obviously, you know, this is not in maybe the same setting or circumstance that some of these other performances have, so I won't really be comparing it too much to the rest of them because this is a different kind of scenario. But, you know, just on the sound of it and obviously kind of the goofier nature of the song, I can see why this is like right up Eurovision's alley as far as that goes. Australians are lovely. I refuse to accept that the Australian accent isn't a bit. I think that the Australian accent is one of the best English accents out there. You have like Australian at like the tippy top, and then you have like Bostonians from like Boston, Massachusetts here in the United States at like the very bottom for me. I can't do that. I just can't. If you're from Boston, not sorry. Not sorry at all. Dude, you wicked smart. Where'd you park the car? Shut up. Shut up. So here is the Austrian performance. Here, so we have JJ with Wasted Love from Austria.
You don't want to go under, so you let me go under. I reach out my hand, I'm drowning in my feelings. How do you not see it? Know that you're good, life is a wise love. This wise love. Know that you're good, keep filling my words with a wise love. I barely stayed afloat. I'm floating all alone. Still I'm holding on to hope. Moon can fill my words with a wise love. That's a wise love.
Dancing Stars 25, let's go.
Wise love.
Vielen Dank. Dankeschön.
JJ!
Oh my God. Wow. I don't know if the Eurovision performances floored me as much as that one had. I mean, the babushkas came pretty fucking close. Let's be real here. When the song starts, I'm just like, wow, the falsetto is just incredible. LOL, just wait, playa. Such a big voice and a little body. It looks like they're like 5'5", right? And then they pick it back up again, and like just when I think that they're done. Talk about some of the more epic kind of songs that we've heard so far. This one just took it up another level between the vocals. Really, it's really just the vocals, and then this crazy dance mix at the end of the song here. Now, I was expecting something a little bit more choreographed, but that's fine. I don't know what Dancing Stars Eurovision 2025 is. This sets it apart in that aspect. One of the things that I don't like about how we're doing it right now is that, like, we're not watching the final performances of it, but just to make sure that I would get this video out before, you know, the winner is announced, this was kind of like the one play I had, which was to kind of look at everything, just the contestants for what they've done so far up until the final performances. And wow, this is, yeah, so last year's winner was more drum and bass. This is more pop opera. Yeah, this was really something else. I was very, very impressed with this. This is one of my favorites to win at this point. This one was just exceptional. I would love to see what they do in the final performances. Absolutely wild. Very, very, very well done. Well done indeed. This one is coming from Erika Vikman from Finland. Finns, where you at? Where you at, Finns? Gotta love some Finns. Gotta love my Finns. Gotta love my Finnish baseball. Erica, everybody. If this doesn't symbolize where we are with this year's Eurovision, I don't know what else to say. We need a lady suspended with pyro. That's what we need. If we can get those three elements, you got Eurovision 2025. I liked this song the more it continued, as it kind of brought me back to some of the things that we had found, that I had found. You already knew about them, of course, from the last time I reacted to Eurovision stuff, where it's like the songs that I think really fit maybe the competition the best, or at least maybe my sense in watching it, are the ones that really create like a party atmosphere. And the shot where it shows like just how large the crowd was and everybody's like on their feet and really engaged with it really drives that idea home. You know, this party atmosphere for everybody who's there. And obviously this is probably the national performance for Finland here. And that is just such an iconic shot right here. Just Erica in thick, bold red letters with the gold mic stand and the pyro shooting out of its ass. It's just terrific. I would even go as far as to say that
it's good shit, pal.
I was getting a little bit of cha-cha-cha vibes off of this one. Maybe not in the sense of it being like as aggressive as that one was, but a little bit in the vocal delivery. And like I said, this song was kind of a slow burn for me, because I was like, oh, okay. But talk about stage presence, when like the shot when she's like strutting down the catwalk is just like complete command of the stage that I really, really appreciated. And and with that shot where it shows like the whole crowd and obviously her being in frame as well, really kind of adds to it that like, you can have all these people, but you are here for her. You are going to watch me do my stuff. I'm going to bend backwards, right? And I'm going to do it in style. So phenomenal stage presence, great atmosphere with this one. Suspend a lady with some pyro. I think you got yourself a very strong contestant in this year's competition. This is Lithuania. This is Lithuania. Don't know a ton about Lithuania. I know that I like Gino Samuel, right? Of the Chris Chan documentary series is from Lithuania, and obviously the amazing Lithuanian basketball jerseys from the Olympics. So I guess the Lithuanian basketball team didn't have enough money to like properly field or like dress their national team. So the Grateful Dead sponsored the team and designed these Grateful Dead jerseys for them, and they were awesome. they were so good, and they ended up like killing it too that year, I think, didn't they? I know Lithuanians are usually pretty good at basketball, so just look, they're just happy to be there. They're just happy to be there, folks. Still really good at basketball though. Yeah, Lithuania won the bronze. What is my favorite country in the Balkans? I plead the fifth. I get to do that. All right. This is Catharsis, Lithuania. Expecting, I know earlier we listened to Portugal's entry, And I was like, it is refreshing to kind of see like just like a regular ass band up there. And, they I think they did, maybe a Beatles inspired indie thing with maybe some actual like real Portuguese influence there as well. But here, this is a rock band here, folks, and a fairly good one as well. It's given me very heavy Interpol vibes. If there's a better example, a better comparison, I guess, please do let me know. But it's giving me like Interpol vibes. This may be like drearier, not droning, but this kind of like a little darker, but not like so desolate in a way, I suppose. In all of what we've seen Eurovision has to offer, when a rock band comes in and just gives more of a straightforward rock performance, you have so many ways to go there just because rock lends itself to having a lot of subgenres underneath it all. So there's a little bit of post-punkiness there, and that's why I say like Interpol, or maybe even like a Joy Division sense of just maybe that lower kind of sound, that Ian Curtis sound coming out of the vocalist here. And apparently the vocalist here is quite young, 22 years old. And if this is like a new band, I think they got themselves a bright future to look ahead to. It's unfortunate that, like I said, they just, if it's not in English, they're not going to be popular here in the States. But everything I've heard from this song, this is all the ingredients to be quite a successful rock band, especially in today's day and age where rock doesn't have as much cultural cachet, I think, even around the world. So I was very impressed with this. Oh, so there's a controversy with Malta, apparently. So we have Kant with Mariana Conte. Mariana Conte. The song's called Kant. There is a controversy. Do tell. I am sat for the tea. They made her change the lyrics serving Kant because they thought it was inappropriate. Their song Kant is Maltese for singing, and there's a lyric in serving Kant, aka serving singing, but what else does it look like? Oh, although Kant means singing. The UK, don't they say that word all the time? Allegedly. Nevertheless, let's get into this.
People say don't be so loud. Watch the words coming out your mouth. Hands crossed, don't dare stand out. Follow the crowd, follow the crowd. Pull up, make them all bow down. Shut up, I'ma be real loud. Get up, I don't back down. Follow me now. Why should we let other people decide when we could be having the time of our lives? Let down your walls, come and dance to my vibe. I do it all the time, yeah, I do it all the time. Serving cunt.
Oh my God.
Serving cunt. I've got a secret you should know. Don't let me feel so. All the time. Serving cunt.
So I mean, performance-wise, this one's just nuts. I really like the choreography. We don't have somebody suspended from something. They're bouncing on the pink balls there, which kind of added a great little visual, I think, in the slight costume changes that we saw, all with under 3.5 minutes. Now, I thought that this was going to be in a non-English language, so I can understand the controversy there a little bit more and how exactly Kant is pronounced in this. I can see where they come from with that. So apparently So in the updated version that she'll sing in Basel, she'll just be saying serving, no can't, but hopefully the audience knows their role and scream it for her. So yeah, knowing that like this was like an English song, I can definitely see the or how the people in the UK say it. I can definitely see the controversy involved here. But it also, I can, it's a little, it's a little saucy for Eurovision. I'll give it that. It is very suggestive, obviously, I think, compared to a lot of what else we've seen. You know, I suppose it's pretty graphic in that sense, but also like looking at it, yes, okay, it could be Maltese for singing. I get the humor in that, and just that sense of humor seems to be in line with what I've seen with Eurovision. It's a really fun pop song. I hear, I don't know if that's like Eastern European folk or like maybe even Arab influence there. I thought I saw that going around the chat a little bit. So this one's really fun. And man, Mariana's got such a voice on her. I mean, some of these moments were just incredible.
I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Serving cunt.
Just like so much soul in that voice, and just how she's able to just get that out of herself and I say that for a lot of the performers that we've reacted to tonight. You know, I hate it because I can't do it. You know, it's like a voice like that makes me hate myself because I could never. So we got one more for y'all tonight. This is Bird of Prey from Ukraine. Last but certainly not the least, I know we haven't reacted to every single Eurovision contestant from this year. It's just kind of the nature of the stream. We'd be here for a long time, but hopefully I got some of maybe the most important ones, the most notable ones out. I do not mean to offend if I haven't gotten to any of the other ones. It's just kind of the nature of what we do here. If I'm doing this for too long, then I get fatigued. I'm not going to be able to accurately or responsibly react to things and give enough maybe transformative commentary or really appropriate analysis. So again, no offense if I haven't reacted to any other entries from this year. I do love you all. Believe me, thank you again so much for watching this series. The series will continue. We will get on to some past winners, and then maybe we'll react to some of these again down the line if the final performances are just crazy. But I really wanted to get to the contestants for this year before the finals. So hopefully you guys get something out of it. So this is Bird of Prey, the song. Zyferblatt from Zyferblatt, hopefully. I don't know, I'm just going to play it.
Zajdę się do mnie, moja ptaszka. Крилами пісня злітає важка. Серденько серд.
Я світло шукаю, гори зверну.
And I call you fly, but I'm begging you, please just
Oh my word. This has got to be probably the most impressive rock performance that I've heard from Eurovision thus far. There's so many things going on with the composition, and this beat reminds me of something. I don't know what it's on the tip of my tongue what that reminds me of, but they're pulling it from somewhere that's familiar to me, and it is just so infectious in and of itself. And the vocals between the backing vocals and the higher end voice of our lead singer here, and once we get to this part and it cuts out so drastically. And also, just like overall, and this is an issue I think a lot with how the video is uploaded, but also there are some other times where it could just be the venue and how they're recording it, how it's mixed within the venue. This is one of the best sounding performances that I've listened to from Eurovision. Just and once we get to here, that cutoff is so clean. There is no reverb. It just mutes itself and goes right back up on time. And again, I know that a lot of the instruments or some of these things are piped in, and who's to say how much they're doing in post? I don't know, but the final product of this video, it sounded fantastic. Excuse me. Wow, it's certainly not the least that this was the last one that we were going to be reacting to today. Again, no offense, but you know, I have to keep in mind any sense of fatigue that I might be having when I'm reacting to these. I want to make sure I stop well before that, just so I can accurately give my thoughts and my criticisms and analysis of any of this stuff. So this one certainly was a fantastic way to cap it off. And also, like, the set's just so darling, right? Just these flowers here, and like the, you know, how the sky kind of opens up at the end of it. It was all just extremely apropos. So those were my reactions to this year's contestants for Eurovision 2025. Again, didn't get to them all, but I think we reacted to a lot of great performances tonight. I'm very excited to see the finals. But I am very excited to see the end result of some of these final performances. If some of these final performances are can't miss and I need to react to just those, please do let me know down in the comments below, as well as your thoughts on any other of my thoughts that you may have had through the duration of this video. If you want to catch us live, make sure you click one of the links down in the description, and you can join my Patreon, where you can find my album reactions and Eurovision reactions there posted and unedited before they come out on YouTube. But with all that said, I've been Jerry Bees. You've been awesome. Take it easy.
Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. Breaking.